Good evening, everybody. I pulled the camera up a little bit closer this week, right? It's been a different camera that I'm using, so I'm just trying to get used to it a little bit. Yeah. Give me a shout out when you're popping in. Yeah. We'll see how long we go tonight. Last week we went for a long time. I think we had a 3-hour live. I just couldn't believe that we had done a 3-hour a 3-hour live, right? Like what could we possibly be talking about that keeps us so occupied for so long, right? Yeah, but I really appreciate that everybody kind of stuck around with me. Yeah, that was lots of fun. Oh, hi, Ashley. This is Ashley as you come in, and or if you're coming and watching the video at a later time, this is my niece Ashley. We've been spending quite a bit of time together lately, and yeah, it's been really nice. We actually went up to Assiniboine Park. Well, she went with her friends, right? And I took my bike up. I go for bike rides every night. I'll just kind of give a little stand up so everybody can see all the weight that I've lost. I think I want to do maybe another 25 pounds. I kind of committed myself to be on the diet till Christmas Eve. And then on Christmas Eve, the big plan is to eat an entire mincemeat pie. So everybody knows I do a Christmas Eve live every year, right? And we have a crew that comes and we hang out on Christmas Eve. And yeah, we have always such a great time. And I open up my stockings. And, last year I didn't eat the pie. Well, I ate the pie that night, but I didn't eat the pie in front of my viewers, right? I waited until after my live show, but I think I'm going to do a mincemeat pie mukbang this year. Yeah, for my live show. Yeah, we'll see. And every year that I've done my Christmas Eve live, like it's gotten a little bit better, right? As people know, I guess a lot of people don't do the lives on Christmas Eve, right? But yeah, it's just me, right? And this year it's going to be really me, right? Because I don't have my cat this year. Yeah, so and that's been a little bit hard for me, right? Because I've always had a cat, right? But yeah, I keep saying I want to do traveling and so I don't want to get myself in a point where I have a pet that that I'm going to end up maybe leaving it behind, or end up being one of those people that give up their pets, take the responsibility to take on a pet and then take it to the vet and and then it's unadoptable and it gets put down and stuff. So I don't want to be irresponsible. If I have a pet, that pet's going to stay with me until it's gone, right? Like, yeah, for sure. But I miss having a cat, right? A cat really just kind of, I don't know. I just love cats. And, I was up at my sister's today too, right? And she has a cat that's not doing well, but it's doing a lot better than what the vet said that it was doing. So we're absolutely amazed and grateful because yeah, we love Sam. He's been with us for a long time. And actually Sam, and I should pull that calendar out too. Sam actually won a pet store contest. I took a beautiful photo of him in Ray's pond, right? Ray and Tracy's pond there, and sitting on a rock, and he had the beautiful pose, and he was looking right directly into the camera, and I got the best picture ever. And yeah, the cat actually won a contest. I can't remember what it won. I think it was for a bank. Oh, it got into the calendar. It was different pet calendar, right? So all different, like cats and dogs. And I think there were a couple of rabbits. And I still have that calendar in my drawer. So yes, that's what I'll do after the live. I'm going to pull that calendar out and yeah, in honor of our beautiful Sam. But he's doing good. Yeah, well, doing a lot better, like I said, than he was doing. Who out there has pets? Let me know in the comments, how many pets you have and yeah, and their names. I know Ashley's cat. I love Ashley's cat. They're not fond of the cat, right? Because the cat kind of likes to play rough, right? So it scratches and stuff. But yeah, I like their cat. They have one of those a coon cat. That's what they're called. Beautiful fur. Oh, and pointy ears. And yeah, I love her cat. Ralphie, his name is. Yeah. So what we were doing today. Oh, yeah. So we were saying about that movie. So we went up to Assiniboine Park and they do a movie in the park all the time, right? Yeah, he is feisty, isn't he? Yeah, and he lets me pet him too. He doesn't let anybody pet him, but yeah, when I come to visit, like the cat will always, run out of it like has a little spot in the closet. He likes to sleep, and he comes out. And he always comes to visit me. Yeah, he enjoys my company every time I come over, right? But as I was saying, like last night, I rode my bike. Like I go for these long bike rides, every night. And, I try not to make them too long, but they get so enjoyable, right? That I just don't want to come home. And I know that when that cold weather comes, it's going to kind of clamp me down, right? When it comes to the exercise. And hi, Linda. Awesome. Nice to see you here. We were just talking about pets. And I remembered you saying about your animals last week, right? Was I? Yes. Yeah, we were talking about our family pets and their names. And yeah. So I was thinking about these pets because like I said, my sister she has lots of pets. But I'll bring her the most beautiful kitten. Yeah, she's the type of person that, her cats are her and her dogs are her family, right? So yeah, she's always had lots. At one time she had 5 cats and 2 dogs, right? But some of the cats and the dogs were like almost the same age and stuff. So yeah, so now the house is getting empty again. Yeah, so we're gonna have to fill it up with animals. And she'll grumble at first, but yeah, she can't say no. And actually, when she found the last cat underneath underneath the trailer in the backyard. One of the dogs was trying to get at it, right? And when she went out there, she saw that it was a little kitten, but she made it so hard because she did the lost and found and everything. But she put everybody who called gave them like the 3rd degree, about the kitten, right? So, so she ended up keeping the cat, right? Because nobody could prove that it was their cat. So yeah, she didn't really want to give that cat up. And I don't blame her. It was adorable, actually, right from the start. Yeah. So what else is new for everybody? I've been really busy on Instagram, right? So I've been just trying to figure out how to work the content that I have over there and bring it over here, right? Because I have so many subscribers and so many viewers on this channel that like the explore videos and stuff. So, I would sure like to know what percentage of my viewers are actually, interested in my journey, right? In my endeavors to make a terrific life for myself, right? And I work so hard, right? And I know it doesn't look like it right now, but there are been great strides in that aspects. And I'm looking forward to showing everybody, all that I've accomplished, in the past year. And that's why I haven't complaining. If you haven't noticed that I haven't been getting out on the road and stuff this summer, like in the summer, remember last summer, I just grumbled. I even had some crying fits. Oh, I was a mess last year. Do you remember what a mess I was last year? Like every time I went on live, I was just crying and complaining about how miserable my life was and stuff. And I haven't looked back on those lives. I download, like a lot of them I unlisted, so if you're ever interested in seeing some of those lives that I did that I made unlisted, right? Because there came a time where I was wanting to get back into my explores, right? Because I could see my oh, Linda, do you like my Instagram? That's really nice of you to say. Yeah, so I came up with this idea about how I can go to work a little bit and raise some money for my immediate needs and stuff, so that I can just continue with what I'm doing here. And I came up with this idea of all my beautiful landscapes and everything. I've got all of those on memory cards and on files and stuff. Like I can just pick through them and take out my very, very best, I think. And I think I'm going to have them printed off, and I'm going to frame them, or maybe I won't even frame them. Maybe I'll just sell them as prints themselves. I know I'm not a super duper, photographer or anything, but I'm confident enough to know that I have a good eye for composite, right? Like I know beautiful, and I know that some of my photos are quite beautiful, right? So I thought maybe I could take those prints and maybe maybe I could sell some and raise some money. Yeah, so that's what I've been thinking in my head. So I've got to make that a point tomorrow. I'm going to have to block some time and make sure that because I've got, when I first started on YouTube and started online, yeah, I really wasn't very good with the technical part of it, right? So, but I knew that things were safe if I left them on the memory cards and stuff. So, when I would take the cameras out and stuff, I would spend lots of money, like cards. Some of my cards were like $30. I swear, I have a bag full maybe of 20 different little memory cards, and they've got my videos on, and some of them, they only have like 1 or 2 videos, taking up hardly any room on those cards or anything. So yeah, I've got to get those transferred off, and yeah, I've got to go through all that footage and stuff, because I want to put together a video, right? This year is Manitoba's 150th birthday, right? And because I have so many of the pioneer homes and the explorers I have, and a lot of my outdoor adventures, like I thought I could really put something really quite beautiful that really represented what this province was all about. And I thought maybe I could do a really nice video on that. So yeah, I've got to go through all that footage, and that is going to take, maybe if I put in an hour every day, because I'm going to want to cut it up too, because there are a lot of that stuff I'm going to be able to use as lessons and stuff, especially all those lives that I download. Like I said, most of those were, yeah, when I first started trying to figure out things about myself, and yeah, I came to some realizations, and in my miserable, like, remember, I was just breaking down and crying. I just wanted to be successful in YouTube so bad, right? So bad. Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to take a few minutes for everybody to catch the notifications, right? Because I'm trying to be consistent on the Sundays, right? 7:30 on Sundays. And we're going to try and go for an hour, but I'm going to try and cut it for sure at an hour and a half. I mean, I was really pleased, like that 3 hours we did. Linda, how long did you stay last week? I know you left a little bit earlier. You had some things that you had to do, but yeah, there was a 3-hour live we had last week. It was, yeah. And it just went like that, right? I just couldn't believe. Yeah. I have no idea. And I go over it. Like I go over my lives just to make sure that, I don't say stuff, that I regret, or, sometimes I put my foot in my mouth and stuff. So I want to make sure that, and especially if I swear or something, and I would hate to think I swore and I wasn't paying attention, right? Yeah. So tonight on my Instagram, I actually promised them last night that I was going to do a video on judging, right? Because I'm an INFJ, introverted thinking, but the J for the judging, right? Like, and it's part of my personality trait. Like I like to be scoping out my surroundings and having a good feel of the possibilities of the different things. So like I even do it with when I'm talking and stuff, if I can keep up the thinking and the talking at the same time, right? I always try to think, and I should take pauses, right? Because lots of times I'll just go on, and it just and it just flows out, right? And that's what happens is when I start forgetting, right? What I'm talking about is when I start doing that. Say hi when you come in. Yeah, so it's been a really busy week. I've been trying to use my success in my diet because now I can really tell a difference. Like I can see, especially in my face and stuff now and in my neck, like I can see that the weight is starting to come off. Oh, I didn't. I wore my. I have a couple of pair of glasses. These ones here, they're my transitions, right? So these ones actually turn into sunglasses when I'm outside, and I was outside earlier today, but because this prescription is just a little bit better, I can read a little bit better. I forgot to take them off, especially as I go. I'm making notes and stuff during the course of the day. It makes for what I'm reading, much easier to keep up, much easier to keep on my eyes. If I ever made a few dollars, it for sure. I know I checked into laser surgery. I don't know if anybody out there has ever had the eye laser surgery, but I sure would love to have the eye laser surgery. I actually ruined my eyes because I started wearing glasses when I was 27 years old, and I went right in from not wearing glasses at all to going right into a heavy duty prescription, right? Like really super, super thick lenses. These are Nicro lenses, but they're very thin, right? But if they were a regular prescription, they'd be like bauble. Hi, Pat. They would be bauble glasses, very, very thick. And if you look at my eyes, as you can see that they make my eyes just look a little bit bigger with these lenses on them, right? But yes, I went right from not wearing glasses right into being in a heavy duty lens, and my optometrist says it's actually rare because he says it's usually a Eastern European trait, right? To have this kind of prescription for eyesight. It's stigmatisms that I have, and they're not even, they're kind of out of whack. But yeah, I got that out in my 20s. I started I was off with some friends, and we were down at the legislative building, and they have these great big spotlights that beam up onto the legislative building that light up the whole building, so when you're driving by, it looks beautiful, right? And yeah, they called it Purple City. And then you go stand in it. And yeah, my friends talked me into standing in front of these big floodlights, right? And I stood in front of these big floodlights. And what happens is you stare at the floodlights for a few minutes, and then for like an hour, you're walking around the city, and then any kind of light that you see is purple. Very, very. I mean, like what a dummy I was. Okay, I'm not going to say I was a dummy. Let's just say I was uninformed, and I was informed with the wrong information. But yeah, I did that. I listened to somebody, and I stood in front of a big floodlight that was beaming on these big buildings, and I stared at it, and this is what happened. This is what happened, right? Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't be wearing glasses for sure. I was lucky for a while that I was able to go into contact lenses, right? But I wasn't able to read with the contact lenses. They were pretty much for like dress up day, like when I had to dress up. But, don't take me out for dinner, because if you do, then you're going to have to order dinner for me, because I wouldn't be able to read a menu, right? Yeah. Oh, and I think for a while there I was able to put reading glasses over the contacts, and that worked for a while. But again, after you turn 40, the muscles around your eyes, they start to weaken, right? And you can't wear the contacts like you used to be able to. But I loved wearing contacts, and I never ever had a problem. Yeah, I would use that Bausch and Lomb Focus. Yeah, good brand, disposable. Yeah, they were really good contacts. What? You went to the eye doctor and they did laser surgery when you weren't even expecting it? Oh, I would have loved that, Pat. Yeah, if I go in and they say they can give me some laser surgery, I would be all over that in a minute. Hi, William. Awesome. Yeah, everybody's trickling in now. They must be getting their notifications start coming in. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about Sharon coming in. I'm getting so excited. This is the first time that actually, I've invited, actually probably. Oh no, I've had interactions with my viewers before. Yeah, Kim comes on our lives quite often, right? She's a sweetheart. And I went to visit her and her husband, and yeah, it was a lovely visit. And yeah, she did some brand artwork for my channel and everything. Yeah, she was a lovely lady. Yeah, but she moved out of the neighborhood. I only went to visit her because she actually was in my neighborhood, right? But yeah, Sharon will be the first one that actually's come to stay with me. I don't. I know for a fact I've never had any, I had a couple of sleepovers, but other than that, I've never had anybody come to stay with me for a visit. Yeah, like I said, when my marriage fell apart, I spent a maybe a year or two, just off. I don't know what I was doing, whether I was doing the revenge game or what I was doing, but I was not up to any good when I came back, and that was probably because of my heartbreak, because of my marriage falling apart, right? And I think I probably wanted him to hurt just as much as I was hurting, and I know how he ticked, right? So it was easy for me to do that, and it was yeah, it was not nice, right? And yeah, and it's really neat, because then I'm working in the aspect, because if I'm going to go into these fields that I'm really interested in, then there's lots of learning. But when I'm lots of learning, I'm learning all these things about myself, right? And I have to learn these things, and sometimes I don't even notice that they're things that bother me, or things that, uh, interfered with my life and stuff, until I actually study them or happen onto that information. And then I go, wow, and I have to, if I'm going to help other people, then I've got to make sure that, I'm good myself, right? You can't have broken, you know what I mean? So yeah. And I am happy. I'm happy with where I'm learning. I could always apply myself a whole lot more, but and I do have people, pushing a little bit, but I could just imagine if I didn't have that push, if I didn't have that push to want to do better. Like, I push myself, right? Because I know where the direction I'm supposed to be going in and stuff. So I try to push myself, at least to get myself in those aisles, right? So that I can kind of get picked up by the stream or something, right? Oh, a torn retina. Eee. Yeah. I'm funny. Me and my sisters, we were talking about that last week, when we go over, we have these little, in depth. Sometimes we go back into the past and talk about when we're kids, or, sometimes we'll pick up a conversation, and the topic we picked up last week is if we have, because, everybody's had their little hurts and stuff, right? And the, like, physical hurts this past year, with Tracy and my sister Carolyn, and I worry about them lots. But I said, if we had to feel good about absolutely everything, but we had to choose um, one thing that we would not want as a handicap, right? Something that we couldn't live with, right? And I can't remember. Oh, I should remember too what my sister said, but mine was my eyesight, right? Because beauty, like, you can learn to read lips, and to see, and experience what you smell in the trees. But again, if you pick, you can't bear without the eyesight, then maybe then the handicap would be that your sense of smell would be gone or something. And yeah, but at least you could feel the breeze. But then again, your sense of feeling, you don't know what the takeaway would be from it, right? But yeah, for me, it would definitely be sight. Sight is yeah, that would be a hard one, right? That would be a hard one. Yeah, and lots of people are hard of sight, right? And actually, we went to the grocery store. We have these blood pressure machines in the grocery stores here in Canada, and every time we go to the grocery stores, we take our blood pressure, right? So yeah, my blood pressure has been so normal, like normal, normal, normal. I'm so happy. No medication, and I'd like to give some of that health to my sisters, right? Because yeah, so healthy. Like, yeah, not even a bleeding nose. I've never had a headache. I do hurt my back on occasion, about once a year, that I hurt my back, and yeah, that's not fun to live with. But I meet people who have migraines, and I stand there and I talk to these people, and I could just feel, how they can't even think, right? Because of their migraines. Yeah, I wouldn't like to have migraines either. Yeah. Oh yes, when Sharon gets here, we're doing the fall suppers, and we'll be doing the exploring, right? Yeah, we're gonna try and get up to Dauphin, and we're gonna try and do some of the abandoned churches up in Dauphin area. Some of the oldest homesteads still standing are up in that Dauphin area, right? So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to taking her to go see that. But again, like, I want to do some of the town, the fall suppers. I bet you she's never experienced anything like that. And when we do that, we're always, because they're going to be harvesting, right? The fields are beautiful at harvest time, and that fresh air, to drive down the roads with the windows open, and yeah, the fresh air blowing in. Yeah. So Pat, for sure, we're going to be doing the explorers. Oh, Owen's here. Awesome. How's Owen doing tonight? Yeah. You'll have to watch the beginning, yeah, of the live tonight. I'll leave the live up for sure. I haven't decided, like I said, when I have a plan for starting up the explorers with Sharon, and sharing more of the directions that I'm going in, right? But because the learning, and because I'm at the way I think and everything is just changing, because the amount of learning I'm learning every day, it's just taking me off here and here and here. And until I can just pull it all together, right? So when I explain exactly how I've changed and in the directions that I'm going, and that's all coming very soon, right? I can just, I could just feel things are starting to move right away. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so happy. Everybody's here. Let's see. I know Nancy's here too. So everybody just say hi, hi to Nancy, right? Because she's probably laying in her bed resting right now. But yeah, I know she always tries to make a point to pop in and say hi. But yeah, I know she's out there. So hi, Nancy, and don't even try to touch anything on your keypad there. Yeah, we know you're there. Yeah. Oh, I know. But they're starting up right now. Like, it's worth it, right? It's going to be 100. And I know I'm disappointing everybody that way, and I am sorry, but I swear, like, I'm going to make it up to everybody just from, yeah, just it's coming up fast. Like, Sharon is going to be here on the 8th, right? And I will start explaining and getting ready for the explorers. I actually, setting things up, and I've got a little itinerary, because obviously it's going to be budget explorers. It's like all our extra money will have to go into the gas tank and everything, right? So, but I am the best at that. Nobody makes better explorers on a budget than I do. That's for sure. Yeah. All my jobs, right? Even on my resume, it says that my main talent was finding creative and cost-effective ways to solve solutions, right? So, to problems, right? Because I was very, very good at it, right? Yeah. I actually saved a restaurant one time. My sense of smell is crazy good. Like, my sense of smell is absolutely amazing. I worked in a restaurant one time, and I was managing the restaurant, and and I'm walking around and I could smell, smoke, that smoke of burning plastic smell. And I could smell it. It was very, very faint. And I can even smell, even in the corner where I could smell it. Like I knew exactly within maybe a 10-foot square of where it was, right? So I called the owner, and he sent an electrician or a repairman or something down, and they pulled down all the ceiling tiles and they looked at everything, and yeah, they didn't find anything. And that was on a Friday night. And then Saturday morning, which was the busiest day of the week, right? For the breakfasts and everything on the weekends, because it was one of those. It was a Perkins restaurant, right? So it was a big family, busy restaurant on the weekends, and yeah, the whole ceiling burst into flames that Saturday morning, and yeah, the fire trucks were there, and Nancy's here. Yes, no, I know. Oh, that was nice of you, William, to say that. Awesome. And Owen, look at everybody saying, and Pat, everybody saying hi to Nancy, because we know, right? Like she's not been well lately, and yeah, I've been wishing her. And it was nice that she was home there, right? Yeah, she was in the hospital there for a while. So yeah, best wishes to Nancy. Yeah, she's been so good to my channel since the very beginning of me starting up, right? And even after all those transitions and all those pivoting that I did on my channel, right? She stuck with me, and I lost some, right? And I noticed, right, the people, and I loved them too, but I perfectly understand, because I am going in a really strange but I have to follow these intuitions of mine. I have to get out there, and I'll never forgive myself, because yeah, what I see is so exciting, and if I'm right, like, yeah, it's going to be amazing for everyone, right? Like, I'm not sure where it's going. I know some, but I don't know all of it, right? Yeah, I can go back. I see my spots, for a couple of years, but after that, yeah, I don't see much, right? But things get revealed to me, like in little things here and there, and yeah, as I learn, then I get better at discerning where I'm supposed to go, right? Yeah. So what did everybody do today? Oh, we're still waiting for Brendan, right? Andrew should be here soon. Yeah, I think I did something wrong, because when I first started up my channel, my videos were doing so good. Like, yeah, like crazy views. I actually was charting them, and when I was looking at them the other day, when I was printing off the sheets, and I'm going, really? I don't even the amount of views I was getting in one day, I now get in a month, right? And yeah, I couldn't figure out, and I know it was because I kept changing my topics, right? But I was called to, like, yeah, and I should have done it. Truly earlier, but yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, so much more. Yeah. But yes, we're going to do videos, like, it's just a matter of, like, I'm budgeting, because I've got a couple of things, that I really, really want to do. And I've got so much overhead right now that's got to be cleared up, and I'm manifesting like a crazy lady. And yeah, and I know, the more I study, and the closer I get to knowing myself, and having a clear directive of where I want to take my life, right? But yeah, I have to try different things, right? I have to, like, I have an idea, but even in those ideas, there's so many different things that I could be doing, that I could be falling in love with, right? And until I taste them, like, up close, like I won't know, right? Because yeah, whatever I do, I have to be happy, right? I have to be. Oh, and Aaron's here. Awesome. Hi, Aaron. Yeah, it's awesome. I have the best crew. I have the best crew ever. Yeah. So yeah, so tonight that I would promise that I was going to do a short video for my Instagram and tell them a story of when I judged, right? Because like I said, being an INFJ, it's something I do, and it's kind of a self-protective trait that I have, right? I don't like to be surprised. I want to be aware, and kind of have a good feeling about my surroundings and the people that are in my surroundings, right? So yeah, but I remembered, right, that I did judge, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out too well for me, when I did this judging, and it was kind of funny that I actually thought that way, right? But yeah, and actually, maybe I'll run it by you guys and see what you guys think about it. Is I lost a lot of weight in the late 80s. I had a gastric bypass, right? And I lost a lot of weight. And I when I had that operation, I did it because there was a guy that I really, really liked, right? And I thought that if I lost the weight, that we could get together, right? Because he was just so amazing. He was like my best friend, right? And I lost that weight, and yeah, I guess it turned out pretty good. And I had a little bit of plastic surgery and stuff, and I was feeling really, really good about myself. And yeah, and I ended up finding a job that I absolutely just loved to go to. It was really, yeah, I worked in a bar. I found a bar that I really enjoyed working in, and it was just such a fun job, right? And things were just going really, really well in my life. And when I started in that bar, because in different corners there were different types of people. Like in this corner, the bikers would hang out in, and then in that corner the army guys would hang out in, right? And then in this corner it would be the arm wrestlers would hang out, right? And then up at the front of the bar would be all the old timers. So it was an amazing kind of mix of people bar, right? That we had there. And I just absolutely just loved working there, right? But what was I going to say? I was just about, please, Cindy, don't lose it. It was about judging that I was talking about. If somebody can just give me a head start about where I left off, I think it's important that I carry on there. Oh, but anyway, yes, I was talking about how I lost all that weight, right? So the girls that I worked with, they always said, Cindy, whatever you do, right? Because I was very unfamiliar, at that time, because I'd always been a big girl. I would always been shy, and I really had bad self-esteem. And, if I thought a boy liked me, I would definitely be very, very not nice to them, right? Just to try to dissuade them, just not to be interested and not to bother me, because it made me feel so uncomfortable, right? And yeah, so I lost all this weight, and something happened, and I got an amazing boost of confidence, right? Because yeah, I guess I looked a whole lot different, when I had lost that weight, and I went from not having any choice of dating partners to having, a sense of choice at that, right? And all my friends were saying to me, Cindy, don't go out with these guys, because they didn't want you when you were a big girl. Why would you want to go out with them, now, right? So, I gave it some thought, and I started chewing on it, and I thought, they're so right, like if a good looking guy in high school or something had paid me a little bit of attention, who knows, I might have been just the amazing girlfriend that, they just thought was amazing too, if I had given them a shot. And I thought, what? That's what I'm going to do. You know what? I'm going to go out with guys, because I'm working in the bar, right? And, I saw the regulars, and, I saw what the girls were going after and everything like that, and who they weren't going after, and, who they were ignoring or whatever. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to go with the guys that, that the girls aren't interested in, that never get a chance to go out with a pretty girl or whatever. So So yeah, for about 6 months, I got it in my head. And yeah, it was like every week I was going out with somebody different. I just couldn't click with any of them, right? And then I gave them some thought. I gave it some thought, right? Because it was the judging, right? Like, because even though, somebody who's very studious, and you don't want to stereotype or anything, but somebody who loves to stay in the library, or is very shy and introverted and just likes to stay in their room and play video games on their self by themselves and stuff. They have dreams, of that beautiful lady in that tight red mini dress and stuff like that. But what if you got that beautiful girl in the tight red mini dress, right? Like she obviously belongs in a different clique. So yes, you can get her as a girlfriend, but at the same time, you're going to have to draw her away from her friends, or you're going to have to integrate with her friends because they have a totally different style. And she's wearing a red tight mini dress. You can, believe me, have like a half a dozen of good looking guys chasing after her and are going to treat you real bad because now they're the alphas, right? They're the alphas and they're the ones that are going to try and take her away from you. So now you've got to compete with that, right? So it kind of made me think that, there's that saying, there's somebody for everybody, right? Like you can always hope to dream and go somewhere, but you know what? If you hope to want a dream to go somewhere and get that someone, then you have to be on that same level, right? So you have to work to be that person. So if you're that introverted person, then you've got to learn to be extroverted, right? Being shy and not having, a lot of girlfriends, right? Or boyfriends, if you're a girl, right? Then you would have to be more attentive, right? And you probably would be, right? To win this girl over, right? But you got to think of the competition, right? So, if you're going to go with that, you're going to have to really work on yourself to get to that point. So it's kind of like what I'm doing, not for guys or anything, right? But for my career, right? So I'm kind of doing the same thing because I want to be at a certain level and because I want to work in certain categories, right? And in thought leadership. And I want to, wow, if I could ever do like a TEDx, right? If I could ever get so good to do, oh, wouldn't that be thrilling, right? Or to go to meet my heroes, if I got to meet Gary Vaynerchuk or, Tony Robbins or, Mel Robbins, right? Or, oh, there's so many of them, like that I absolutely adore, right? But yeah, but I have the ones that I'm tight to, right? Too. And I like them because they work. Well, I've obviously been with them for a long time. So I've kind of built that trust with these people that I'm learning from. But also at the same time, what I like about their channels is kind of like they have pet doors, like, a cat door or a dog door, like at the bottom of your door, right? It's like, so because they're not doing what I do, even though I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an empath entrepreneur, and it kind of works a little bit different, right? So a lot of the work that I do, he wouldn't have the knowledge. So I've got to go outside to go find that knowledge, but I still want to be there because it kind of feels like home. You know what I mean? It's like I said, it's like a pet door. Like I can go and get the information that I need, and then I can just scurry back and, I have a place to stay. Right. So, and that's how I feel, like I said, it's taking a long time just to, get to know these people. And, because, I would sure like to get along with the people that I want to learn from. Right. And, and if I ever bump into these people, I want them to like me. Right. So again, so I have to, they're not going to bring themselves down to my level because they've already made all these achievements, right? So it's time for me to make my own achievements, and because there's no reason I can't accomplish what they're accomplishing, right? Yeah, so it's just a matter of putting in that effort. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, William. You know, I don't have a lot of friends. I made my sister's friends, right? Like I used to have lots of friends, right? But you know, after a little while, after you get hurt too much, like sometimes it's easier just to give everything up, right? And then you don't have to deal with that pain. So, but as of recently, I've been trying to, to heal all that stuff, right? Because I used to be very, very social, and I had like best friends, right? I didn't really expand out, right? But I always tried to make friends, right? But quite like I said, they weren't always deep, close friends. Like sometimes, you just want somebody where you could go to a movie with, or, go hang out or go for a bike ride with, right? Yeah. I tried to ask my brother-in-law, Ian, if he wanted to go for a bike ride with me, and he shut me down right off the hop. That's okay. I would have kicked his bun because he didn't think I was fast, but I'm pretty fast on my bike. Oh, my poor legs. I fall off my bike every night, almost every night, right? Because these cars, they're not brave. I don't know, I know the cars are behind me, but they're going like 5 miles an hour, like 3 feet behind me. And because, I don't want to turn my head, sometimes I just do this, come on, pass me, right? But yeah, they ignore me, and I can hear that they're just like 3 feet behind me. And yeah, and then slowly my bike just kind of rolls to a stop. And when it stops, it just kind of drops over, and yeah, and I drop over my poor legs. Yeah, I got cuts and scratches and everything. But yeah, it makes me a little bit iffy when the cars do that, right? Like here in Winnipeg, we have amazing, bicycle lanes now, especially going up to the university from different routes and stuff. So I try to take the bike paths now, and they're much appreciated. And they work out really, really, really well. Yeah, because there's still room enough for the cars, and the cars know their boundaries. And yeah, so you can relax a little bit that way, right? And especially when the cars can't park in those spots too. So you can pretty much go from downtown, and go all the way up to the University of Manitoba. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, but yeah, it's the city investing money in the infrastructure. Well, it's the Manitobans, right? Yeah, City of Winnipeg investing. Yeah. But yeah, like, even me, like, Friday night, I was saying we went up to movie in the park, right? It is Assiniboine Park, and I watched a movie, and I was sitting on a bench, and a Chinese couple came and sat on the bench with me. Lovely, just beautiful couple. Didn't speak really good English, but we still managed to have a simple conversation, right? They'd look at things and laugh and smile, and I could tell what they were laughing and smiling about, and I could say little things, and we nod our heads and agree with each other and stuff. Yeah, it was really nice. It's not hard to make friends. Yeah, it's just a matter of being open to it. When you're sitting in places at the park or whatever, just look up, look at people, right? Look at people, smile, just be open, right? Yeah, so that's what I do all the time now, right? So and oh, I got an invitation for tomorrow to go out to Winnipeg Lake. But yeah, I gotta I yeah. It's the gas to get out there, right? So I'll have to, that's a good thing. I just thought of it now. So I'll have to remember to give her a text after my live to let her know, because I know Alice, she'll be making sandwiches or whatever. Um, and yeah, I told her I would come out. Yeah, Winnipeg Beach, and she said she has a couple of cottages out there, and she rents them out, right? And I thought, oh, if I could have a cottage, or if I could rent my apartment out once in a while and go stay at my sister's on those nights, and yeah, make a few $100s, and yeah, that would always help with the rent, right? Yeah, it's just a matter of being creative, right? Yeah. It's that ambition part of me, right? Like that ambitious, like I am ambitious, and I do need the money, but I'm not money hungry. Otherwise, like, I'd be all over the business, and, trying to, yeah, my business accounts, like all my accounts are tied up, and I just don't know whether to scoot it all back over to Google, or if it's just I've had them there for like 4.5 years. Like, it can't be too much longer before they're going to be unlocked, right? And yeah, looking for forward to coming back, and maybe doing some videos for my channel. But again, I'll be mixing it. I my explorers will be mixed with the mindset for sure, right? For sure, because this is my life now, right? Yeah, yeah. It all has to be together if I'm gonna do it. So yeah, we're working on it. I'm working on. I know it should be action. Idea to action, and but yeah, the action too is getting it ready so it can be done good, and then just carry on into the next thing. And if I do it properly, wow, maybe we could just hit something good, and I would just love everybody to see me succeed, right? Or at least start seeing me move into the direction that I really want to do, right? Yeah. And that's why I'm so pleased with all you guys, because you've all been just so supportive in my crazy ideas. Yeah. Yeah, and we're at that age now, when the people we were talking about, holy cow, these conversations, and I didn't start these conversations, but it just seems like everything popping up is just something that we've been talking about, right? And my sisters, we were talking about how we're at that age now, right? We just got to take care of ourselves, and I'm just so pleased that my blood pressure is so good and everything, but we're still at that age where anything can happen, and we're four girls, and yeah, we're so tight, like it's just going to be so hard, right? It's going to be so hard. And yeah, but we're so tight, like yeah, that nothing will ever we have a hard time even moving out of the same city from each other, right? Even though we have the same lives and everything. And now that we have digital age, now we can go off, like, and my sister Alice, she lives a separate lives, but because of the internet, being able to, do FaceTime on the phone or on the computers and stuff, and me being in social media, I mean, they could see me every week, right? They could see me every night on Instagram, right? Because yeah, I post every day to Instagram. I post my landscape photos over there, and I tell stories from the past that have lessons in them, And if I learn something really, really like I learn something interesting every single day, right? Excuse me. Coffee. I drink so much coffee. Yeah. And this week, because I had a little container of coffee or coffee cream, I didn't get any coffee cream. And then when I got home, my coffee cream was all curdled. So I had no cream for my coffee. So that was no fun. But I had all these coupons, McDonald's coupons. So every time I went out for a bike ride, I would get a free coffee, but I would get a free bagel too. And I don't eat bagels, right? And yeah, what a waste. I don't like to waste food. Yeah. Yeah. And the changes I'm making. Yeah, I'm still eating meat, but I'm very funny about my meat. My meat is very processed still. I'm eating meat that doesn't look like meat. So I know it's a psychological thing for me, right? So yeah. And it's because I need the protein. So if I can find a better way to get the protein into me, like I know I could use beans, but beans are very, very fattening, right? And I love beans, right? So yeah, beans would be good. And cheese would be good too, but I love cheese. Like you guys have no idea how much I love cheese. It's so addictive to me. So I think after the first 2 weeks of my diet, I said, that's it. No more cheese, right? Yeah, because I love cheese so much, and it was making it so I couldn't lose weight. And because on this diet you can eat cheese because it is a protein, right? that I was I was eating a ton of it. Like, yeah, I could eat a whole brick in one sitting, and yeah, that wasn't doing me any good at all. Awesome, William. Yeah, that would be great. Oh, yeah, it's an amazing place to visit for sure. Yeah, yeah, it's a going to be an amazing place, and we'll make sure we go out and have coffee and yeah, spend some time together. I'll show you the town. And I always meant to show everybody the exchange district. I thought would be a great explore for everybody. But yeah, like I said, like, yeah, priorities right now, just priorities. Just bear with me. Just this I can't say just one more time because I think last time I said, oh, just bear with me one more time. Next summer will be amazing. And next summer was amazing for me. I know it wasn't so amazing for you guys, right? But it was amazing for me. I learned so much about myself and I made so many changes and yeah, it's I wish yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to explain it to everybody and like I said, it's still kind of going on. So yeah, until I have a clear picture of everything, I don't want to commit, right? I want to make sure that, yeah, portion control. Yeah, so I'm doing really, really good on my diet. 46 pounds as of today. It might be a little bit more because I weigh myself during the middle of the day after I've had a meal and everything. But I'm happy to say that I've lost 46 pounds. Oh, just in case you came in late, show everybody. Yeah, yeah, another 20, I think. Yeah. I go for bike rides every night. I'll be going for a bike ride soon. And plus I still have what time is it? It's only 8:30. It's getting dark outside early now. Did you notice that? I don't know how it is in different time zones, but yeah, it was staying light outside till like 10 o'clock and now it's 8:30 and yeah, it's already starting to get dark. But I love my bike rides too when it's dark outside. Yeah, in the past few days, like I've been leaving the house like really early, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And then I would ride my bike till like 7 o'clock. I was getting home earlier, right? So I was able to get some videos in because I was going a little bit later. I was waiting till after my lives and stuff like tonight, right? Like, and then I would go out at 8 o'clock and then because they have like street dances in the summer right by my house, like they have big street dances and hundreds of people go to these street dances. And so Fridays and Saturday nights, I like to go down and I don't dance myself, but I like to see everybody enjoying themselves because they enjoy themselves so much. What a great thing that court and biz district they do for the communities, right? Because everybody comes out, brings their camping chairs, and they have chairs themselves and stuff. But yeah, they shut the street down, and yeah, big tent, and yeah, big outdoor dance floor, and yeah, they have lots of fun. Yeah, but it'll be over by the time like next week will be the last weekend, I think, for the dances, right? But what else is new, everybody? I think I've been yapping, yapping, yapping. So I think it's time for everybody else to do yapping. What do you think of the camera? Is it okay? I moved it a little bit different. I got this little bit. I feel like I got fluff in my nose. I keep going like this. It's like it has a little bit of an itch to it, right? Yeah. 104. Linda. And what state is that? 104? Holy moly moly. And is it dry or is it a humid 104? Like, is there moisture in the air? Yeah, 104. Yeah. I would prefer, I think, if it's 104, I would prefer, I think, the dry heat and then just drink lots of water because that humidity would make it very, very uncomfortable, I think. Like that hot, swampy, like when you have lots of moisture in the air. Yeah, I don't think I would like that at all. Oh, yeah, that's quite an index there. Yeah. Arkansas. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. As a kid, I did all the states. Like my dad was, and only up to a part of the states, like say mid, like where we are now, but straight down to Mexico. But we did all those states in between, right? I don't know why we never, like Winnipeg is as far east as my family took us ever, right? Like I've been east, right? Like, but with my husband, right? Like, I've been into most of the provinces, I think, but yeah, as a young child, yeah, we traveled all up and down the West Coast and the mid part of the North America, right? And yeah, we absolutely loved it. My dad loved Route 66. And I remember Route 66, it always had road attractions, right? Like gardens and cactus yards and yeah, saloons, like old fashioned buildings and stuff at gas stations. And yeah, there was always pop machines out on the porches, right? We'd pull our pop bottles out of the water in the big fridges that were on the porches, right? Yeah, we loved. I remember Route 66. I remember, and there's a few cities like as younger, right, that I remember, like, but lots of destinations I don't remember. I remember seeing the mountain with the presidents carved into it. Oh no, Mount Rushmore, yes. And then I remember Mount Shasta, right? But only because of Shasta root beer used to just be my favorite when we went into the States. And I remember, the arches when we went to Cincinnati, there were these big arches that we visited. I remembered that. I remember bridges in Las Vegas where people would, when they would go to Las Vegas to get divorces, right? They would throw their rings over this bridge. And I remember, yeah. So, even as a young child, like I remember lots about the different states and different excursions. I even think I remember a little bit of the Grand Canyon, if I'm thinking correctly, and the deserts. And yeah, yeah, I remember lots. I just love those drives, right? I just love those drives. Nancy's here. Scroll down. If you can manage scrolling down, Nancy, you can see all the hellos that everybody was shouting out to you earlier in the comments. Everybody knew that you were, I guess you just popped in, but yeah, we all figured that you were laying there watching. So everybody was shouting out hellos to you. It was kind of sweet. Yeah, it was kind of sweet that everybody knew that you were out there. Yeah, how are you feeling this week, Nancy? Yeah, I hope you're feeling again, eh? Oh, isn't that poopy? I wish everybody was up on an upswing, eh? Oh, a blood transfusion. Holy moly. Holy moly. Yeah. I had a blood transfusion, but I really wasn't aware of it until after the fact, until after I read doctor's reports and I saw it, right? But yeah, that just thinking about it is scary sounding, right? So does that help for your energy levels to come up a little bit when that happens? And I would assume they would take your blood out and then they would put fresh blood in to make room for it, or they just add the blood to the blood that you have already. That would be interesting. I don't know. Yeah, so these things, hospitals have always never ever been good with hospitals, right? Like I go to hospitals for my family, big to support my family because I love my sisters, but I always have a hard time otherwise with hospitals, right? Yeah, I can't stop crying when I'm in the hospitals. Like I'll just sit there and I feel bad because then everybody feels so bad for me, right? And I think, no, just don't pay me any mind, right? I just sit there and I just cry, right? I don't like hospitals at all. And my sisters know that, right? So they always give me little chores and stuff like, oh, Cindy, go to McDonald's and get us coffees. And, they'll give me little chores so I can, oh, so-and-so wants to go for a cigarette. Why don't you roll her out to the parking lot so she can go have a cigarette? And, yeah, they'll give me little chores to do, right? Just because I'm so bad. Yeah. And it's the same with the funerals, right? Like, yeah, I have a hard time doing funerals. Not so much about weddings. I get bored easily when I go to weddings, because yeah, I get actually quite bored, and I would come off as rude, like I have to sit through the weddings and stuff. I like wedding receptions, lots of actions and lots of happy going on at wedding receptions, but yeah, weddings themselves. And I went to a lot of weddings being in the military. I went to a lot of weddings, right? Yeah. None of them, not many of the marriages worked out. Like, oh, I can't remember if even a few of the marriages of the friends that we made, if their marriages worked out. Like very high percentage of it's like 70% with the military, right? And yeah, it's a tough job, right? It's a tough job being a military wife. It takes a lot of support and a lot of love and a lot of understanding to be a military wife. I'm sorry, I left my notifications on there. So yeah, just notifications of I wasn't sure if it was a video that I'm meant to watch or something. But I find out now that I'm trusting my home suggestions a lot more. They have been so bang on about giving me the next video to watch, right? And they give me a good mix. Like they know what videos that I watch consistently, right? So I'm always served those, but they're getting really good on the topics that they're serving me. So, and they're getting me to where I guess they kind of get an idea of what I want to learn and the direction that I'm going in. So they're giving me those topics, and they've been so helpful. Yeah, so helpful. So yeah. Yeah, amazing. I wish I could give them so much more. I feel like I'm disappointing them, right? Because I'm using my Instagram to try and push everything now, right? And they've done so much for me, and yeah, I just really wish that I could reciprocate a little bit to Google and YouTube, because yeah, they invested so much. Oh well. Well, what can you do? It is what it is, and I know I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. So if I keep thinking that way, right, and I could think somewhere's down the road, maybe I could do something wonderful to pay back for the wonderful that they did for me too, right? And like I said, I don't know really what it is, and if it's in the plan or if it's not in the plan. I'm just feeling out as I go, and I'm just whatever pops, I'm following that, right? Yeah. Yeah, so happy that Nancy popped in, but like I said, Nancy, just lay there and just relax. But if it's not too much trouble, yeah, back up to those well wishers earlier in the conversation in the live here, because yeah, they were so sweet. Everybody was just doing little hellos and hope you're doing well. So off to Nancy. Yeah, it's really really sweet. Yeah, really sweet. So everybody, I don't know. I could think maybe we're going to call it a short one tonight, right? Because I would really like to get a bike ride in tonight, but because I'm being consistent now, right, on the Sundays to try and make sure that we go live. So 7:30, everybody, if you can remember that we can get together and we can have a chit chat. And if there's topics that you're interested in and want to have discussion, like, yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on those comments, right? So yeah, let's have a discussion. Right now, right? Because we have a good crew on, it's easy to keep track of the comments, right? And I have such great um, people that moderate my channel, that they jump in and they're so friendly, and yeah, they've turned into some really good friends, right? But you know how to get a hold of me, right? So yeah, if you want to chit chat, if you have any questions, or if you have topics that you would like me to research or share a little bit more, right? Because if you did ask, and if I did think that people were interested in, because I want whatever I do, I just want to be honest through the whole thing, right? And that, it's all part of me, right? It's all part of my story, and the whole time it was about sharing the journey. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing here. I would love that, Nancy. Yeah. I've been really lucky, that I have bumped into a couple of people that have kind of, helped me along the line, along the way and stuff, like my friend Kathy in Nova Scotia, right? And, she's been so sweet. She follows me on Instagram and, she's been giving me little tips along the way. And yeah, it is definitely a journey. And like I said, like I just, you guys are just as important to me as I've come to be a part of your lives too, right? So yeah, I'm so glad that we've we've got this chatter lives going on. I feel bad now that I went and I unlisted all those videos, right? I feel really bad that I unlisted those videos. Yeah. But if you ever want to watch any of them, or if there was a topic, or if you really want to see some of those Cindy breakdowns, that I had last year. And like I said, like I haven't grumbled, I haven't complained. And last summer, that's all I did. I cried my eyes out. I was so miserable and I blamed everybody for why I was having such a bad summer. And, I was having a bad summer just because, it was all me, right? Like I did that. And this summer, I don't mind so bad because I'm gaining so much that's going to help me out, right? And push me a little bit further. So I'm not going to feel bad. I have to fill my cup up first so that I can do something that I love, right? Okay, everybody, I've got to jump on my bike and go for a little bike ride. Maybe I'll just go for a coffee tonight and yeah, we'll see everybody next Sunday. How's that? Have a great night, everybody. Take care. And how do we end this? Live? Okay. I'm lost here. Oh, end stream. It was in my shirt. It would be all white. Have a great night.